It wasn't a pilot who found the target, it wasn't a general who mapped the logistics, and it wasn't luck that ensured the strike hit with surgical precision. It was a line of code. For the last 2 decades, a shadow has been growing over the global landscape. While we've spent years debating the ethics of Silicon Valley's social media algorithms,
Silicon Valley is engineering your phone, apps, and social media to get you hooked.
a much more dangerous engine was being built in the dark. A company that doesn't care about your likes or your engagement, but cares deeply about your location, your associations, and your intentions. Common wisdom says that Palantir is just another data analytics firm, a boring software contractor for the government. That is a dangerous misunderstanding. The reality? Palantir is the first AI war machine in the history of humanity. Between 2022 and 2024, Palantir's market cap didn't just grow, it exploded into a $50 billion shadow. In this video, we are going deeper than the stock price. We are looking at the engineering soul of a company that Silicon Valley tried to exile, and how they turned that exile into a monopoly on the future of warfare. This is the secret bet that changed everything. To understand Palantir, you have to understand the bridge they burned. In 2003, Peter Thiel and Alex Karp founded Palantir with a $2 million investment from the CIA's venture arm, In-Q-Tel. At the time, Silicon Valley was the land of don't be evil. Google and Facebook were building bridges to a connected, peaceful world. Therefore, Palantir was treated like a pariah. They were the shadow company building tools for spies and soldiers. But while the rest of the valley was optimizing for ad clicks, Palantir was doing something that looks a lot like what we saw in our study of NVIDIA. They were spending billions on a software platform called Gotham, a tool that no one in the commercial world wanted to buy. For 15 years, Palantir was a billion-dollar hallucination. They were losing hundreds of millions of dollars every year. Wall Street called them a consultancy masquerading as a software company. They were told to pivot to normal business. They refused. They doubled down on the engineering soul of the battlefield. Much like we discussed in the $60 billion crash of Boeing, Palantir understood that if you lose your technical edge to satisfy an accountant, you are already dead. The turning point wasn't a product launch, it was a global collapse of peace. Modern warfare changed. It became sensor-fused. There is too much data for a human brain to process. Satellite feeds, signals intelligence, intercepted cell calls, drone footage. Therefore, the bottleneck in war is no longer bullets, it's decisions. But the Pentagon's legacy systems were built by companies like the new Boeing, slow, bureaucratic, and focused on hardware. Palantir realized that a tank is just a target if it doesn't have the right data. Therefore, they built AIP, Artificial Intelligence Platform. This is where the banger strategy comes in. If you think Palantir just organizes data, you're missing the point. Palantir allows a commander to ask a chatbot, "Show me the enemy's supply lines," and provide 3 options to neutralize them using available assets. It's like ChatGPT, but with a kill switch. If this deep dive into the shadow empire is opening your eyes, hit that like button. It helps our community grow, and it tells the algorithm that we want more investigative truth, not just clickbait headlines. And if you're new, subscribe to Billion Lifeline. We don't just follow the money, we follow the soul of the company. Let's look at the value loop. In our previous video, the $150 billion freefall, Volkswagen's biggest lie, we saw a company that used code to deceive the world. They used software to hide a failure. Palantir does the opposite. They use software to reveal a truth, often a brutal one. In Ukraine, Palantir isn't just a contractor, they are a lifeline. Their software, according to Alex Karp, is responsible for a massive percentage of the targeting success on the front lines. They aren't lying about what the software does. They are brutally honest. They are here to help their side win. This creates a moat that is even deeper than NVIDIA's. Once a nation's military integrates Palantir into their command structure, they can't leave. You don't switch software providers in the middle of a war. But this creates a massive ethical friction. As Palantir moves into the commercial world with their Foundry platform, they are bringing the war soul into the boardroom. They are treating supply chain disruptions and hospital staffing like a battlefield. Now, let's talk about the $50 billion. For years, Palantir was mocked for its unusual stock structure and its lack of profitability. But in 2023, the AI supercycle hit. Suddenly, every CEO in the world realized they needed what Palantir had been building for 20 years. They achieved 4 consecutive quarters of GAAP profitability. They were eligible for the S&P 500. The hallucination became a harvest. So the war stock became a growth stock. But here is the re-hook you need to stay for. All of this financial success is built on a foundation of global conflict. If peace breaks out, does the $50 billion shadow vanish? The answer is no, because Palantir has engineered a world where data is the conflict. Whether it's a cyber war, a trade war, or a hot war, they are the ones holding the map. Why is Palantir succeeding where Boeing failed? It comes down to the engineering soul versus the hierarchy. At Boeing, we saw that engineers were silenced by managers who wanted to hit delivery dates. At Palantir, the engineers are the hierarchy. Alex Karp famously hates salespeople. He believes that if the software is God, the world will come to you. They don't have a massive PR department trying to lecture the public like Gillette. They don't have a confusing rebrand like Jaguar. They have a product that works in the most high-stakes environment on Earth, the battlefield. But there is a cost. To maintain this soul, Palantir has to be a company of zealots. So what is the $50 billion gamble? It's the bet that Western liberalism cannot survive without the very tools that threaten its privacy. Palantir is betting that we're entering a century of permanent conflict, where the wire that connects us all is constantly being tapped, analyzed, and weaponized. They're betting that in the future there will be 2 types of nations, those who run on Palantir's algorithms and those who lose. Before we get to the 3 final lessons, I want to hear your opinion in the comments. Is Palantir a lifeline for the West, or are we building a shadow that we will eventually lose control of? We read every comment, and your debate is what makes this channel's soul alive. Here are the 3 lessons of the shadow. Number 1. Software is the new high ground. In the 20th century, you won by having the biggest factory. In the 21st, you win by having the best decision engine. Palantir didn't build a better tank, they built a better brain for the tank. Number 2, the bridge is built in the dark. Like NVIDIA, Palantir spent 15 years being wrong in the eyes of the market. They built the bridge to AI warfare when everyone else was building bridges to social media. Success is about being right when it's expensive to be right. Number 3, engineering soul over spreadsheet safety. Boeing sold its soul for a $40 billion buyback. Palantir kept its soul through 20 years of losses. Today, one is struggling to stay in the air, and the other is mapping the future of the planet. The $50 billion shadow of Palantir isn't going away. It is moving into our hospitals, our banks, and our governments. If you want to understand the dark side of what happens when these corporate souls fail, you have to watch our video on the $60 billion crash of Boeing. Or to see how the big lie can destroy a titan, check out the Volkswagen deep dive. Palantir proves that the wire that connects us all is now a weapon, and the only question left is who is holding the controls. This is Cindy from Billion Lifelines. We'll see you in the next one.